Track Wrestling in Daytona Beach, Florida, National Wrestling Coaches Association Convention with Purdue coach Tony Ersland. Boilermakers, 5 returning qualifiers, some depth starting to be assembled in the program. Going to have a little bit more veteran presence coming up in 2018, 2019. What do you like about this team that you got coming back?
Yeah, I think, last year we were a young team, as I mentioned, with 7 freshmen and sophomores out of our 10 weights, but they still had a strong year. Some inconsistencies, but we qualified 7 for nationals, returned 5. All of those 5 won matches, and Devin Schroeder, who even will be inserted here this year at 125, had a strong year backing up Luke Welch. So we have depth to go deep in the tournament now, where maybe before we didn't. It was 1 or 2 guys who were first-time qualifiers and just needed the experience, and then they graduated. We have guys who know they can win. They've been there in that environment and been in those tough matches, and I think you're going to see maybe us move the needle a little bit more this year. That's my expectation. They have high goals. They're working hard. They've been in our program long enough to understand what the expectations and the work ethic needed are.
Last couple years in recruiting, I've heard Purdue mentioned a lot with a lot of elite kids, and maybe you haven't gotten all of them, but you've been in the race. No points for second place in recruiting, but ultimately, does that getting in enough of them, does that help you get the guys that you really target?
Yeah, there's no doubt, and we've won our fair share of those battles. We've had 3 ranked recruiting classes in a row, which is tremendous. But we are in on the best kids, which means they're on our campus, in our room, seeing the environment, the culture that we have, and they understand that they can reach their goals there, and that's a big deal. Our job is to create the environment. Now they got to do the heavy lifting and take advantage of those resources and that environment. But we're creating that environment and providing the opportunities, and the best kids see it and acknowledge it. And I think as you see us move forward, we'll continue to sign some of the very best.
What's been the key to getting in the mix with some of them?
You've got to show a consistent message with your kids, and I think we do a good job of what their experience at Purdue will be, how they'll be treated, how they'll be supported, what your commitment to them is, and I think once you show kids that you have a plan for them and you're going to care for them, look out for them, support them, kids get excited about that. It's not always about you have had to have won everything. I think those kids understand that if they can be successful at their school and you have the resources for them, they'll buy in.
Couple days here at the convention, coming off a couple hours of meetings this morning, breakout sessions. What have been big takeaways for you from the last couple days down here in Daytona?
Well, I just think that it's a critical time for us, and the student-athlete experience is going to be important. There's going to be some new legislation regarding transfers and how those things are handled. And so I think you just want to make sure, I go back to you got to provide the environment for the kids where they can thrive and be supported. And I think as coaches, we have to do that. We have to keep our APR in line, and so that make sure that they have time to be supported and successful as a student-athlete. We compete across 2 semesters, and we cut weight and travel a lot, and we love that part of the sport. I think a lot of us thrive with that. But at the same time, we've got to provide those students a support network where they can do well academically as well, and keep the sport strong, climb over sports with the APR and things like that academically.
New event on the calendar for the Boilermakers this year. You guys are going to go down to South Beach Duels.
You bet.
What led you to get in the field down there?
Seeing some other teams that we definitely want to see. We always try to go east or west, and see some different. So when we get to nationals, we have, as a Big Ten school, we're always going to have great competition. But there's certain people you want to see before you get to nationals, and so we try to see a lot of different people. This year down there, we're going to see NC State, Missouri, West Virginia, Utah Valley. Those are the 4 duels over the 2 days, and I just like the mix where we're going to see some good talent, some different styles, from different programs, and that's only going to aid us as we chase the podium in March.